Don't sleep on the Monday mystery movies because honestly, like you just never know what you're going to get. And this week was a pretty exciting one. Stick around. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be talking about Novocaine. This was the surprise release last night at the Cinemark Monday mystery or secret movie, however you want to call it. I know Regal does this and Cinemark has been doing this. I believe they're the primary two theaters, so they either call them the mystery movie or the secret movie. And in the past few months, it's been like on a trajectory where usually the mystery movie is going to be something that's released that week, but you just never know what it's going to be. And looking into what's being released this week, there was Mickey 17, there's also My Dead Friend Zoe, and a few other movies. Like all we really know that was that this movie was rated R. So I was kind of expecting it to be one of those, and it would have been great if it was Mickey 17. But to our surprise, we got to see Novocaine, which actually releases next week on March 13th or 14th. So this is definitely one of those movies I was looking forward to seeing this year. I've been seeing the trailer quite a bit of time, and I'm a big fan of Jack Quaid and a lot of the work that he's been doing recently, especially with The Boys. So I was excited to check this one out. So let's talk about Novocaine. This follows Jack Quaid's character. He's the main character. He's an assistant bank manager who has grown up with a very rare, not necessarily a disease, but kind of like a medical condition, I guess you could say that, where he feels no pain. So on that element, you could almost think of this as like if you've seen the movie Kick-Ass, where he gets in an accident and it kind of results where he just has like, nerve issues and he just doesn't feel pain. And that's essentially what Jack Quaid's character has, but he was told that he would potentially not live very long. There's a lot of little quirks that he does that we see in the beginning of this movie. He's only, tries to only stick to liquids because he's fearful that he may just bite off his tongue, because since he can't feel the pain, if he's chewing food, he wouldn't know if that happened or not. So he's very cautious, very careful, because he just essentially doesn't want to die and wants to try to live a normal life, but he's also sheltered himself away from having any kind of relationship at all. But that's when he kind of gets closer to one of his colleagues who invites him out on a date. They have a great time, and then the next thing we know, his bank is getting robbed and she is kidnapped as a hostage, and he decides to go after her and try to rescue her and be the hero. And this movie, like once you get into that moment and this picks up, it is so much fun. This movie was quite fascinating, especially in terms of pacing, because this starts off as almost a romantic comedy. It's building up these characters, these main two people, where Jack plays Nathan, and they also have Amber Midthunder playing Sherry. She's most notable for Prey, which is a Predator prequel movie, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. But I really enjoyed their time together, the chemistry that they had, because everything felt very natural. It doesn't feel rushed or just kind of too cheeky. Everything felt like very normal, and I think that goes into the stronger points of the script here, because this movie, while it is, I guess, an action movie, it also kind of leans into like a comedy and parts romantic comedy. When they land the jokes, it's just very cleverly done, and usually it's during these fight moments, and it's very, very funny. And it's a good balance too, because this movie does not hold back, especially on the graphics. Like there are moments where, Jack Quaid's character is getting stabbed or burned or having his fingernails pulled out, and they don't hold back. They show you these things. So there's moments where you're almost like cringing and looking away and not wanting to see what's happening, but then they throw these jokes in there that land and everyone's laughing. So that's where this movie heightens in terms of an entertaining watch. I think where this movie fails is with a lot of character development, and especially with some of our side characters. We have Jacob Batalon, maybe mispronouncing that, but most notable for like the Spider-Man trilogy, where he's really just playing the same character. He's a friend. They're essentially, friends through a video game and eventually meet. And this character is just very, something we've seen him do over and over again. We also have Ray Nicholson, the son of famous actor Jack Nicholson, is in here as the villain, and he definitely has his highs and lows. He brings his energy for sure, and there's moments, especially like when you first see him, I thought were much better than later into the movie when you get into more of the action sequences. But he still delivers a pretty solid performance, and I just wish they would have honed into that a little bit more. There is, you know, some twists and reveals in this movie, and I have to say it's like moments where like I probably should have saw this coming but didn't quite. That makes this for an enjoyable ride. I think as a whole there's a lot of familiar elements. I think they probably could have tightened the runtime a little bit or changed some things to give a little bit more depth. We do have these detectives that come in trying to figure out what's going on and find Jack Quaid's character, and I didn't think those really worked. They didn't land as well for me. They felt very copy and paste from some other movies that I'd seen. But all in all, like, Novocaine is really fun to watch. I think this delivers on a number of things when it lands for some of the script to the characters. And I think just Jack Quaid just really like shined in this movie, and it's been fun watching him. You know, he's in The Boys. He was recently in Companion, so he's got a lot of stuff coming out this year, so excited to see more from him. And then speaking of the crew, I just completely overlooked that this is from co-directors Dan Burke and Robert Olson, which did Significant Other, which is on Paramount. So I did talk about that movie. I'll link it below. And that was a movie I actually enjoyed, and I've just kind of fallen off to see what these guys are up to. So now they're back with Novocaine, which is pretty fun. So these are directors I'm always excited to see what they're going to come up with next. So seems like they're trying different things, going from like more of a horror thriller genre to now they're playing with comedy, romance, and action. So it's definitely fun to see, and I hope to see more from them. So Novocaine, quite a fun watch with some fun characters, great action, some comedy that lands, even though some of the characters could have been developed a little bit more and the overall runtime could have been changed either to give you that more depth or just shortened just a little bit. But all in all, I think a lot of people will have fun with this movie. Again, it comes out in 2 weeks, so definitely go check this out in the theaters. I do recommend that this is a watch to see in the theaters, especially with a group of people, because I think you'll have a great time. So, was so glad to get this as the secret movie this week. This is going to be a fun week of just movies and TV series, because tomorrow we have Daredevil Born Again, going to be on Disney Plus. We also have Mickey 17, which is one of my anticipated movies for this year, coming out later this week. So I can't wait to see those and talk about those. Thanks so much for stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe. It does help this channel out so much. And I'll see you later this week with more reviews. Probably going to be back again next talking about Daredevil Born Again, so I can't wait. We'll see you soon.